California wants to tax you for not having health insurance. Folks. So California just passed a bill through the legislature. Now it just needs to get signed by the governor. And so pretty much what the bill is going to do is it's going to impose a tax penalty similar to what we had under the federal government, which Donald Trump did away with. So now in California, we're going to, everybody who doesn't have health insurance is going to pay a tax penalty. And so the only people that are not going to be paying a tax penalty is either if you're an Alaska Native or Native American, if you are illegal, or if you're in prison. Pretty much those are the exemptions to the tax penalty, and that's going to be imposed by the state. Now California has joined a few of the other states in the Union. Californians, well, number one, the tax penalty, we're not sure if it's going to be the same as the federal tax penalty that was implemented back in 2014 through 2018. If it is the same, it's only going to mean a 2.5% penalty for people, or $6.95 per adult. And so the only thing that does, it's actually not very good, because if you implement a penalty and it's not sufficient enough for people to get insurance, some people are going to say, well, it's cheaper for me to pay the penalty than to pay for a crappy insurance plan. But if it's the same price, people rather even get like a bronze plan that covers the minimum amount, but at least they're insured and they're paying the same as they would be paying under a penalty if they had to pay a penalty. So it might possibly stabilize rates here in California, but it's gonna depend on what the amount that the penalty that's gonna be levied. So it's really gonna come down to that. The other thing is that in the bill introduced, it's giving illegal aliens health insurance, or Medi-Cal, Medicaid. So it's going to give those access to Medicaid, to the full benefits. Before California would give illegal aliens emergency Medi-Cal services. Now, if it's going to give them the full scope, I have no idea where they're going to get the money to do that, and that's going to possibly, it's going to be from the penalty levied, but I don't think that's going to be sufficient, because when that happens, all of a sudden you're going to have an influx of people that mainly have chronic conditions, or something more serious, like a long-term condition like cancer, because I believe if they implement that, they may still ask for proof of like some type of residency. So like they must have an ID that is a California ID, maybe not, who knows. At this point it's not clear. But if they do have an ID, or even if they don't have an ID but they go through the process, they apply, they get approved, and then they get an ID, that may possibly be what's going to happen. But that does put us in a situation where, number one, it's unaffordable, and number two, who's going to pay for that? Well, obviously everybody living here, which I myself am included. So I don't know if that's going to raise taxes even further. So that is another thing. So more taxes, not only as a tax penalty for not having health insurance, but possibly even more taxes to make sure that people that are not legally here in the country get covered. And then if we have this influx of illegal immigrants from other states in the country because they're sick, that's even that's gonna cause a snowball effect. And so the other thing is, we need to get a lot of the younger people into the health insurance system, because those are the ones that are going to stabilize the rates. By having younger people, most of the time those are the healthier populations, but if they forego health insurance, then we won't have, you know, a mix of healthy population to offset the rates. So, you know, it's still, the ball is still in the air, but the consequences of this bill, if they raise the taxes, if they raise the tax for not having health insurance enough, then it is going to stabilize the market more likely than not. However, then you have the wild card, which is insuring illegal aliens in this country, which, like I said, that's a wild card. We don't know what's going to happen. It can either I mean, it's not going to make the state any more financially better off. If anything, it's going to bankrupt the state, and so I disagree with that. It's my opinion that it's going to have more negative consequences than positive. So, but you know, we shall see.